What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's the Super Dave from the Real Talk Files and also from the PA Political Revolution podcast. I'm over here doing a favor for my main man, Kyle Jaco. He couldn't be here, so he asked me to do this interview for him. So I'm over here doing him a good solid. Now we have a good guest today. It's Mr. Eddie Ray. And Mr. Eddie Ray is going to be a part of Mr. Jaco's King series, chapter 1, series 15. Now, could you give me a brief introduction of yourself, Mr. Eddie Ray, for those that been living under a rock and don't know who in the hell you are, brother?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Eddie Ray Brown. I was originally born in Waco, Texas, and at the age of 2, my mother was from Port Arthur, but at the age of 2, she came back to Port Arthur with 3 kids. I was the middle child. So I grew up in Port Arthur. I graduated Lincoln High School, class of '77, and we have a very proud class, good classmates. I loved growing up and going to Lincoln High School. From there, I had a short stay in the military. I got out and opened a barbershop. The name of it is Kutz For Kingz. So this was in '92, and so the King series is actually is right in line with my spirit. You know, like I say, my barbershop is Kutz For Kingz. In 2003, I opened a boxing gym, and it's Lionhearted Boxing Academy, and we've had hundreds of kids come through. Little kings and queens. We taught male and female boxers, and so now I'm just. Matter of fact, today is my birthday, July 27th. My anniversary was yesterday, July 26th, and I'm at the point that I'm just enjoying life. I'm excited about life, and it's all good.
Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate it. I want to say happy birthday and also happy anniversary to you.
Thank you, brother.
And could you tell me what you said you had Lionhearted Boxing Gym? I think a lot of people know you from Lionhearted Boxing Gym. And it's a great gym, and you know I was a part of it. Actually, I'm still a part of it. You know, it's in my heart. I can't get it out of there. Can you let people know any other philanthropic type of work that you do, more charity work that you've been doing around the city?
Well, what I do since 2007, I've been given a $500 scholarship to every year. I just pick a kid and I give a scholarship. The kid wasn't aware, or they never are aware. It's just a surprise. And $500 is not a lot when you're going to college, but it's a help as far as getting your books. You know, we sometimes go to like hospitality and help feed or serve people. I just generally help whenever I see a need. I just try to help. It's just in my heart to do that.
Okay. What inspires you out in life? What's your why? What gets you up in the morning? What makes Eddie Ray heart continue to run day by day?
Life itself. As I see life, God or the Creator give us this gift, and we shouldn't take advantage of the gift. The gift is life itself. So it's a gift, and with this gift comes responsibility. And I feel that it's our responsibility to be watchers of this earth, our brother keeper, you know, and visioning, just having dreams and visions, and getting up and working towards those dreams. You know, we have to work towards the dreams that we have in order to achieve it. You know, no excuses, no blaming nobody else for the conditions that we are in. We are creators of our own reality, and I think that's the part that a lot of people just don't get. We are in the position, whoever we are, we're in the position that we are in because of our thinking, you know, and when you have thought and when you want things, it's up to you to get up and make that happen. So that's what I'm inspired by life itself. I'm blessed to be here. You know, I'm what they call my life is what they call in overtime. You know, I've had 4 beautiful quarters, and now I'm in overtime. So I don't have time to waste with foolishness. I'm just all about trying to do positive things and being happy. And in at this point in my life, I am extremely happy. So I'm anxious to get up. Sometimes I don't want to go to sleep because I'm so fired up about life. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I want to go ahead and play off that part for a minute. You was talking about dreams, right? Well, what do you happen to say? I think me and KG and a couple people were talking about this a little bit earlier. What would you say if people had a certain type of dream, but you know they was almost close to the goal line, and they'll probably be a little scared to be successful or scared to go ahead and achieve their dream? What is something that you can say from a person that has been successful in your dreams about the person that may be kind of scared to achieve their dream, so to speak?
Good question. I would say that one good example is that you may read books or watch film on how to swim, but until you get in the water, you'll never learn to swim. And it's the same with success. You can read books on success, you can talk to people that's been successful, but until you complete your goal, you're not successful. And sometimes when you're delayed, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It means that you just have to learn more about the business or whatever you're trying to accomplish. You know, the race is not over until you hit the finish line. So just because you hadn't hit the finish line yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. So just be patient. And like I say, if you're having doubts, then that means you haven't probably studied enough in whatever field you're trying to achieve. You know, so just do a little more studying and don't give up. You know, because like I said earlier, we control our future by our thoughts and actions. So if you have a certain dream and if you haven't fulfilled it, and it's mainly because of fear, then fear is the enemy of success. You know, so you have to get over. Anybody with a fear, the way you get over fear is by doing that which you are afraid of.
Right.
And you will defeat or conquer fear.
Cool. So basically, you have to start the race in order to finish the race.
Exactly.
So you have to kind of just get out there. Okay,
Yes,
that
sir.
sounds pretty good. Now, since it's going to be a part of the King series, and I'm doing this from a main man, Kyle, and it's going to be, you know, seen throughout states, probably, you know, nationally. You know, he has a good audience, a good viewership. And what would you like people to know about your hometown of Port Arthur that have never been here? What's something you want to kind of just, you know, let them know about it that they may not know?
Yeah. Well, Port Arthur, first of all, is small. I think we're about 55,000, and maybe smaller now since the floods and storms. And so let's just say 50,000. And out of 50,000 people, we have more Super Bowl rings than any city in the nation.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, that's crazy.
Why?
And
right.
the reason being, we have artists like UGK is from Port Arthur.
Absolutely.
You know, we have so many people that left Port Arthur and did great things because we are hard workers in Port Arthur.
Yeah.
You know, and what we do, we for some reason we're dedicated to it, and we accomplish great things. So Port Arthur is a great place to grow up. You know, it's a great place to grow up.
Yeah, and to go ahead and add on to that a little bit, and it would just be amazing if we could have harnessed all of that energy, all of that talent, into being and to making, Port Arthur great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of us
Yeah.
leaving,
Right.
we have the support from, politicians, local, everybody, schools, everybody, into making this city, what it could be and what it should be.
Yeah.
And I think, hopefully we can probably do something like that in the future, but, we'll see on that one. What message would you like to give all the kings around the world, all of the strong kings? What's a good message from yourself as being the top-notch, upper-level king, in my opinion, mine, Kyle's opinion also?
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I think that the most important thing is to know thyself. That's the most important thing. And most people, and I'm going to say it has to do with, a lot of it has to do with religion, religious doctrine, and for that reason, most people don't know themselves. They haven't dug deep within themselves to know that God is in each individual. And with God being in each individual, each king, that means that you can accomplish anything, and I'm going to say anything that you like to accomplish on this earth. And what stops us from accomplishing those things is not knowing thyself, not knowing that God puts so much greatness in us, each individual. So that word doubt should not, if you know yourself, that word doubt should not be a part of your vocabulary. So the kings that's out there, when you take time to meditate and want to achieve something in this lifetime, you have already been given the ability to do it. What stops it is lack of knowledge, because sometimes the kings don't put in the work to study whatever they want to accomplish, and the ones that do, they accomplish it. Hands down, they accomplish it. So the message I would say to the kings is that you have the ability to do whatever you want to do. The only person that can stop you is you. And that's the truth.
So basically, just to recap on that point, we have the creators put everything in us to go ahead and do what we need to do, and we don't have to wait on anybody to come save us, so to speak, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And I know the answer, but do you feel pretty much, it may sound redundant, but do you feel that a lot of people wait for somebody to come save them, or use as an excuse versus actually doing it?
Yes, I do feel that a lot of people wait. For instance, and I'm not trying to harp on the religious thing, because people believe what they believe, but the Bible tells us, I think it's 82nd chapter of Psalms maybe, but it tells us that we are gods. So if the creator of this universe is in you, and when the disciples asked Jesus how to pray, he said, the first words he said was, "Our Father, which art in heaven." So if the God of the creation is in heaven, and he's our Father, and we are his sons, then we are gods. So if we are gods, then we can create on this earth whatever we want to create. But some doctrine teaches that we have to wait on Jesus or wait on whoever. And I don't believe in that line of thought. I believe that the Creator has already put in us all that we need. I believe that we are beautifully made, and I'm very grateful for him giving me this gift of life to create on earth what I want. And I have done that, and other kings are doing it. And the ones that's not doing it, I feel that they don't meditate enough and get in union with the Creator that's already in you. He's right there in you. So it's all about you. If you accomplish it, or if you don't, there's no one to blame but you.
Strong words are strong words. Since helping out the kids is a big part of who you are, as you have stated with Lionhearted Boxing Gym, and also with your scholarships, what's a good message you would like to give to the youth?
the message that I like to give to the youth is the same one that I like to give to the adult kings. Enjoy this life on earth is a gift, and don't take it lightly. Enjoy your gift of life, and what you want to achieve and accomplish, do it. There's nothing that can stop you, because you are created by the Creator. And if you are created by the Creator, you are created perfectly. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not perfect, regardless of your situation. If you're born, for instance, with one arm, and some kids are, you are still perfect because you're made by the Creator. That one arm should not stop you from achieving whatever you want to achieve. Don't look at the weaknesses, look at your strength. And your strength is always here. Your thoughts, whatever you think that you want to do, you can. You can. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. It's all up to you, regardless of your weaknesses, your shortcomings, because you have a greater strength in you than that outside of you.
Right. Now let's go ahead and kind of flip the script a little bit. Now let's go ahead and talk about Mr. Kyle over here. Now Kyle, he kind of calls you a superhero. You know, he has, again, extremely high regards of you. Now, what's a good memory that you have with Kyle Jack? Or it could be something of him acting bad as a child, or something more recent. What's your best memory of Kyle? Well, not best memory. What's a memory of him? You know, because your memories could be kind of bad. He could be a little crazy little kid running around here with his pants falling off. I don't know. So I'm just saying, what's your memory of Mr. Kyle?
Well, let me say first of all that Kyle Jacko, I love that young man. I love that young man.
Oh, you love? That's good.
And as a kid, he was always in and out of the barbershop. He was a person that always came in. He was always happy, joking and laughing, always. And so some people may have saw him as bad. I never did. But my greatest memory of him is as an adult. When he came to my house, we sat on the porch and talked, and he found out that I had stage 4 cancer and that I was given a short time to live. And it took everything in him to hold his tears back, but they still came down. And when he talked to me, his voice was scratchy, and you could tell he was trying not to cry. And that's all about love, and I'll never forget that, because his emotion was so strong. And you don't feel that type of emotion if you don't care about the person that you're talking to. And that's the memory that I'll never forget. But as him being a child growing up, it's a lot of memories, but they were all good. And he was always a funny little dude, running in.
Funny little dude.
He was funny. I mean, he was always making jokes. And
when you say, let's stop right there. When you say funny, was he funny looking or funny joke telling?
No,
What is he? Is he a funny looking guy, or he tell jokes funny acting?
He was a funny joke kind of guy.
Oh,
and,
okay.
He did have it was a couple of times that he came, and he had issues that it was hard, that he had problems dealing with, and I felt good that he felt enough higher regard for me to talk to me about his situation.
Okay, as a mentor.
But, yeah,
okay.
As a mentor. But 98% of the time, he just was, when I say funny, he was comedian type funny.
Right.
He was in, and he would always make people laugh, and it just was always a good thing. It was always good to see him.
Okay, now since I guess from being funny, now he's now being more of a inspirational person, more being like dealing with these videos, these inspirational videos like these King Series project. Now, how have you been enjoying these King Series project motivational videos, as I like to call them, and you being a part of it? And what would you like to tell the other kings that's a part of this particular project?
Well, I've been watching the series, and I'm very proud of the Kings that were on before me. I'd like to just say, keep on doing what you're doing, brothers. You're being an inspiration to many lives, you know, and they had different communities. So each king is touching his own community, just as a lion, a male lion rules his own community. That's what those kings were showing, that's what they're doing, and it's just a beautiful thing that they're doing that, and it's a beautiful thing that Mr. Jacko is exposing those guys and what they're doing. He's bringing light to the public on positive things, very positive things that kings are doing.
Right, and before I forget, I want to take a little time, a little intermission right here. Can you go ahead and give us some of your social media platforms where we can go ahead and reach you at, if you happen to know them?
Okay, yes. I'm at, my email is lionheartedboxing@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook at Eddie Ray Brown. And that's basically it. I don't have a lot of media, but that's basically it.
Okay, good. Now, we're about to kind of change the steering wheel over to a little bit more of a serious type of topic, right? Now, what do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement and people voting and all this little revolutionary talk and pretty much some of the things been going on with the Black Lives Matter, the police defunding? Just, what's your little quick synopsis on that?
Well, once again, it all boils down to know thyself. Black Lives Matter and different programs. A lot of times, we are in a situation that we're in because we don't know who we are. We don't know how great we are. And we were put in this position because of not knowing how great we are. So I feel that the community, the community is waking up. Knowledge is being exposed, and it's so much with YouTube, and it's so much media exposure that people are realizing how badly we've been treated as a people, and we've been treated that way because of ignorance. We've been treated that way because of basically white supremacy. That would rule, but the reason it rules is because we believe that we're separate. There's only one race, and that's the human race. But because of certain people having power and gaining power through warfare, it was said that we were different people to hold on, so that they can hold on to their power. But we're all one people. It's only one race. There's no, Hispanics and Japanese and blacks and whites and all that's hoopla. It's one race, and it's the human race. Black lives does matter as much as every life matter. But like I say, the white supremacy groups have put us under their feet, and it's all because of ignorance. We're all one people. We're gonna live a few years on this earth, and we're gonna die, regardless of if you're white, black, Hispanic. It don't matter. So I'm glad that the kings are realizing that they're kings, and that's why the protest is getting so strong, because people are starting to realize that black people are no different than white people.
Right.
It's just that the media is owned by white people, and they have always portrayed us to be less than. But we are great.
Okay. And now I want to get to a little bit more serious. I know that was kind of serious, but a little bit more of a touchy subject. Now, just as you said earlier, you're dealing with stage 4 cancer, and I was wanting to know what's your experience dealing with this. A lot of people have seen the big C word, cancer, as the death sentence. A lot of people, you know, that I know and you know, have just, you know, given up on it and said, hey, you know, I'm going to be through this. What's your experience dealing with this, and why haven't you just gave up on it just like some of the other people, you know, that has it? And pretty much anything else you want to say about this that I'm missing in the question?
Man, I am so glad you asked that question, because you asked also about Port Arthur, and that's one of the things about Port Arthur and any city that has a lot of refinery work. The cancer rate is high. When my cancer was discovered, it was stage 4, and my doctors, I went to the hospital that I went to, they consider to be #1 in the nation. I don't want to say its name, but they consider it to be #1 in the nation. Mm-hmm. They told me that I had about 2 years to live, and with chemo and whatever, that they probably could stretch another 6 months out of it. So, I mean, it was devastating news, and you know, 2 years to live, that's talk about a Mike Tyson punch. That was a Mike Tyson punch. So I'm right now, I'm at 3.5 years. So I've lived beyond what they said I would. And I strongly believe that it's because of fighting, you know.
So this is what you mean by when you say you're in overtime, right?
Yes. My life is in overtime, because the fourth quarter was when they expected me to be gone. So my life is in overtime, because I've lived beyond what doctors expect me to live, and I'm quite aware that doctors don't have the last say. I'm quite aware of that.
Now I just want to interrupt you right here. It's a thought that comes to me, and I just want to kind of capture it. Now I know for me, right, when somebody say I had 6 months, say for instance 6 months would be August the 1st, what was your feeling like, that countdown of the days coming, right when they said you might not make it, and then when that day come, and then passing that day, what was your kind of thoughts and emotions on that?
Well, what I did and what I continue to do is dream and pursue my dreams. You know, I have goals, and I just wake up every morning and keep pursuing my dreams. This is the thing. I'm a barber, of course, and I'm sitting in my barber chair now, but I've had friends that I've cut their hair since my diagnosis, and they leave and tell me, Eddie, anything I can do, let me know. The next word I know, and I'm talking about more than 1 or 2 individuals, I'm talking about a few.
Right.
Next thing I know, they are dead. And they were some younger than me, some older, healthier, but they are no longer here, and I'm still here. What I would say to anybody that's been diagnosed with cancer, and it's quite a few, what the majority do, because doctors can be very persuasive, and what most people do is listen to what the doctors say, and they get discouraged with life, and they'll basically give up and lay it down. So what I would suggest, if anybody out there get diagnosed with cancer, first of all, you have to have a good diet. You have to build your immune system, because nothing fights cancer like the body itself. And if your immune system is built up, it's gonna help. So don't give up. You know, don't give up. Just keep living as though you don't have it. You know, and we all have a time that we're gonna expire. You know, we all do. But you can prolong it, or you can shorten it. You can prolong it by, like I said, getting up every morning and do things. Don't just lay down and get depressed. Don't lay down and get depressed. That would shorten your life. And sometimes with me, things get physically hard. You know, sometimes I have a lot of pains, but I still get up and fight. I still get up and push and fulfill my dreams. You know, you have to just keep going. You have to keep going. You know, as a trainer of boxing, I used to tell the guys, if you get even knocked down, that don't mean that the fight is over. That means you get up. A lot of fighters have been knocked down and got up and still won the fight. So you have to, in life, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Great, that's great. Hey, and I think I can stop on that note right there. Keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
Basically, you have to have the heart of the lion to keep fighting, dealing with what you're dealing with. Hey, and that's going to go ahead and wrap up this King Series interview. I hope that I've done a justice to the King Series. I know this isn't actually the Kyle Jacobs type of interviewing, but I hope I've done a little bit of justice to his motivational series. And that, I want to go ahead and say peace to Mr. Kyle Jacko and everybody out there that's taking a look at this. And stay strong and take it easy. Peace out. I salute y'all.
Yes, and Carl, I'd just like to say, brother, keep doing what you're doing. I'm very proud of you. Much love, much respect. Peace.
Peace.
I'm recording? Yeah. All right. What's your name?
Luke Alpo.
All right. What's your name?
I live with me.
All right.